All right, I just got off the phone with Nick. It looks like Brantley is staying under the speed limit. I don't know what they're carrying, but they should be here shortly.
Is he bringing back any guns?
One would assume, but I didn't want to be that guy that's like, hey, remember when you... But so, you know what I mean? So
look, I'm not going to... let me just say this. I was very upset with that because, guys, I had got a flamethrower and it was in there, but I just hadn't showed you guys yet. Mm-hmm. It was for the anniversary of the store.
Kron, doesn't that sound like an excuse? Like, doesn't that sound like he's making it up that he had a flamethrower and he just magically somebody stole a bunch of guns and he's saying like flamethrower? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't want to like say anything negative about him, but I remember when we were all out back shooting off that potato gun and Dan just kept being like, you know, I'm getting a flamethrower next week. I got a flamethrower on the way. But to me, it's kind of like, if it ain't in hand, you don't got it, you know?
Yeah. It's like
hey,
my
guys
girlfriend goes to another high school sort of
exactly.
thing. Yeah.
Well, she does.
Yeah.
Do you want me to be dead ass honest with you right now?
Always.
You remember the Hobby Lobby fire?
Yeah.
Enough said.
Yeah. Enough said.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
All right.
Well, again, you didn't actually say it, so it's kind of all conjecture at this point.
Okay. But I do want to start our initial greeting when they do show up. Like, we love the horror drafts, guys, right? So last time we put out a platter, that didn't go over well. We got to do something special for them. Like, what do you guys want to do? They're going to be here shortly, but like, let's...
I was thinking we could start with like, hey, sup? That sounds pretty fun, right? That's
sup.
cool.
Sup. Sup.
That's top of the... That's good. Let's keep brainstorming. That's number one for now, but let's just keep going.
What's up?
I think that's 1A. That's going to be a 1A.
How you guys doing? How you doing?
Okay. Again, that's just a simple greeting. I think that maybe let's take sup off the board because I think you're getting confused. I'm thinking
the bathrooms are dirty.
Give us back our flamethrower.
There's no more bathroom beers.
Like, you're starting off negative. It's supposed to be a positive visit.
Oh, right. How about hey, sup?
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 Fuck. You know what? Fuck it. Let's all just sup.
Sup?
Sup?
Not now. Save your sups.
Oh, I thought you were supping me. Sup?
Bottle the sups. You're going to sup yourself out.
Sup me dry.
Dan, you're the best gift giver. What can you think of?
Well, I know they're from the East. So I was thinking like oysters? There's that guy
that's a southern thing.
Oh, that's right. Shit. Kron, any ideas?
Quit thinking food. I'm thinking like event. Like, what's cool? What do they like? Horror.
Oh, yeah.
They like horror.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, don't you think they kind of want to take a break from that?
They love eating lobster.
And they love the Yankees? No.
I don't know. I think it's got to be something with horror.
They love
Autumn. Be scary.
All those guys up there, they fucking love Autumn.
Yeah. Cider.
Hey, I'm gonna. This is taking way too long. Like, fucking come up with something already. Goddamn.
Oh shit! I see some headlights.
Yes, fucking stop.
Oh shit! They're here.
Fucking end it. Come up with something.
All right, let's go hide.
Easy. All right, let's hide. Fuck.
Oh, these guys are gonna love that we found that Mission Impossible on Betamax, dude. I know that they've been on pins and needles waiting to hear about this, and that you're returning all their guns.
Finally,
obviously.
Yes, important. I hope they left us some shellfish or something.
I hope so. Yeah, I have my EpiPen ready. I'm technically allergic to shellfish, but I do still love to eat it. So even if I need to double fist EpiPens into my thighs, I'm going to have some shrimp and lobster, I tell you.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Where are these guys?
Yeah, it's uncharacteristically quiet.
Yeah. I mean, there's usually not really customers in here, but usually the guys are loud enough that you hear them somewhere.
Right. Yeah, this is I feel like, should we call like the police? I feel like something's wrong.
I don't know. You think Jerry would want us to call the police, break to the store? Maybe, hang on. Let me. Hello, guys. Anyone here?
Nothing.
You
That's
you were talking to them on the phone, right?
yeah, but that was like seconds ago.
Yeah,
Anything could have happened.
That's true. Good point. Huh. Is it? Oh wait, hang on. I think there's a note over here. Oh no, wait a minute. It's just a list of movies. Some kind of ranking. Yeah, it's like there's a list of 104 movies here. I mean, yeah, it's like a ranking, but it's all fucked up. They got some movies where they way higher than they should be, and a bunch others that are way lower than they should be.
Let me take a look.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I think we should just like rearrange this for them, like just like scratch things out and put our own ones where they should be and everything.
Yeah, at least some of these. Yeah, no.
I think they'd appreciate
Like this one right here,
Yeah,
way off.
definitely. This week on 5 Day Rentals, it's a rewind. I don't know. What do you guys think? That all right?
Nailed it.
All right.
Yep.
Cool.
Works.
I was so worried I was going to say this week on horror drafts.
We would have kept it.
Yeah. We would have started a horror drafts episode, dude.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody, to 5 Day Rentals. We are the video store podcast where each week we take turns picking a flick that we think meets a fun non-genre category. And this week's round is There Is No Round. We're all out of rounds. It's a rewind. And
Sup?
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 Sup? Sup?
So,
Sup? Sup?
Sup?
Sup? Those are my two lovely co-hosts, Thumper and Pulsating Pete, a.k.a. Kron and Bones. Gentlemen, how are you tonight? Sup?
Hey, sup? Thanks, Dan.
Sup?
Doing great.
Sup? Godlike. Sup?
Sup? You bussin'?
Bustin' makes me feel good. Sup?
Right before we hit record.
Oh, nice. Anyway, we're not alone tonight, gentlemen. To make this a little more fun and interesting, we have two very special guests that have been on the show before, but they're back again. We got Mr. Brantley Palmer and Nick Schwartz, and with their powers combined, they are Horror Drafts. Gentlemen, welcome back, and welcome to your first rewind.
thank you for having us, man.
So excited to be here. Yeah, thank you.
This is
It's an honor.
Yeah.
An honor. Ooh.
It is an honor. Yeah, absolutely.
It's awesome to have you guys, but I don't want to downplay how more comfortable I am with the guns just in the vicinity.
Okay.
Right? Like, arm's reach.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Awesome. They're well oiled, too. Good job.
Yeah,
No
we
rust.
stayed up late last
Yeah.
night. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that was something that you do.
I see a lot of these have had the serial numbers scratched off.
Nice.
Nice touch.
You got it.
Oh, so happy to have that Glock back. Guys, tonight you get to change the list. Are we excited about that?
Yeah, I'm very excited, but I feel the weight of great responsibility getting this opportunity. So, I don't want to speak for Nick, but I can say just for me, that's why it's such a tremendous honor. We've played such a tiny part in the history of this podcast, getting to come on and guest for some episodes, which is so kind of you, and to give us this immense responsibility to get to come in and tweak this list off that it's very gracious and kind, and I'm very excited to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, I think Brantley just said it perfectly. I am worried that we wield too much responsibility here, too much power, to be honest, because if I understand this all correctly, some of these point totals are pretty close, and I feel like we could do, we could make a lot of difference here and throw some things like really far out of order. So sorry in advance.
Well, they made their call. They made their decision, and we're here now, and we're here to fuck shit up. So,
no, you're right.
Just to be clear, your plus or minus 0.5 adds to the average that's already there. So it's definitely going to move stuff up or down.
Yeah, I know. That's it could move stuff like a lot of positions.
Yeah.
I feel like
there's some real tight groupings in some areas. Yeah,
that's all right. Well, great. I'm excited to do it.
Same here. I cannot wait.
Well, we are super excited to have you. And yes, this is the rewind to end season 1. What a ride. We started, we didn't know if it would continue, but here we are today. We've met some beautiful friends along the way, including Brantley and Nick. And we're happy to do it for you every week. Join the Patreon. Now,
in 5 years.
Just kidding. We wouldn't do that to you guys. But yes, Nick and Brantley are here to welt some power towards the list. I believe you guys have a point total for each other. You can split that up as 0.5 and 0.5 if you'd like. I think that's probably what you guys would do if that's your move. As the game went on of Rate My Letterbox, world famous game, never been indicted. I believe Bones was the winner. I do want to recount. Kron, is that correct?
That's correct, Dan. Bones ended with a 25.5. I had 24.5, and you had 23.
Oh, this is definitely wrong.
Well,
at least I beat George.
Yeah, well, George was here for one episode and got a 2.5.
That's his own fault.
He beat you on that episode, if that counts for anything.
Motherfucker. Thanks for pointing that out.
Hey, you brought it up.
In a few weeks, George is then going to say, where the fuck is my 0.5 for the big board?
We'll give him one on a thing where he's not hosted at all.
Okay.
He's not been here. That's how we do these.
But gentlemen, I think it comes down to Bones gets to pick what order or which position he wants to take. I believe we do snake style, right?
Yep. I'm going to take that A slot. I'm going to take first and last.
Great move, Bones. I'm taking B, the spot right after you.
Okay.
And right before you, the next time through.
I guess that leaves me with a big C, gentlemen. That's what I got in college, but C's get degrees. And Brantley and Nick, comes down to you guys. What would you like?
How does this work? Do we go after you all have done your
that's
adjustments, or?
Yeah, so I think we'll snake through. So you guys will get, 4 and 5.
Okay.
Basically, and then circle back to us.
Gotcha.
Got it.
Makes sense. Nick, do you want to go 4th or 5th?
I'll go 5th if that's okay with you, Brantley.
Fine by me. I will go 4th.
All right.
Go 4th and fuck this list up.
We each have 0.5, right? Is that correct?
That's
okay.
correct.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We get one move in the middle of this entire rewind.
It's a considerable position to be in because you could undo something that I do.
True.
You could offensively move something and then lock it. So, do we need to try to explain our convoluted system here as far as what's off the board? Do you guys feel comfortable knowing what's highlighted means untouchable?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the only thing I had some question about was the tiebreaker rank, but I don't know if that's really gonna.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was relevant, but
So basically, since all of our ratings are just based on a 5-point scale that is, you have half points in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But pretty early on in this, I realized like we were going to run into a lot of 3.833, 3.8, like it was just kind of going to repeat over and over. So we started bringing in the average letterbox score. So the tiebreaker is essentially taking our scores and then factoring in letterboxed to determine the tiebreaker. So it's essentially just a way to say this 3.83 is above this 3.83.
Makes total sense.
cool.
We try to keep it fair here.
Yeah, I think as long as you know what's 1, 2, 3, 4, like what the number is on the left-hand side, that's basically all you need to know the order. Yeah.
No, that makes sense. And I get which ones are off limits, but if one of you had given like a half a point to, I'm just hypothetically, like Tremors, and then another one had taken it away, is that off limits because it's had 2, or it's only like if it had gone a full rank up or a full point down that it becomes locked?
So if one of us gave it a 0.5 and then someone else took that away, that's still 2 moves, and it's you can't do anything else with it, essentially.
Then it's locked. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I was just curious. All right.
Well, do we want to do... What do you guys want to do? You want to do... Normally we do the first 3, and then we do have 2 games tonight to play here on the Rewind. So, Bones, what do you think?
I think it would maybe fuck up the flow if we were to play a game right now, considering how much time we've talked about the list.
Mm-hmm.
I think let's get through Brantley as far as board manipulation. We'll play a game, and then we'll do my game towards the end once everybody's pissed off at each other.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
Well, that works. Bones, the floor is yours with the first move here for the Rewind.
Gentlemen, I have not prepared a statement.
Oh, I did all that work, all those other rewinds for.
What I did want to do is I did want to take a quick minute to just pay a little bit of tribute to an actor we lost this week, an actor represented on this board. Mr. Treat Williams passed away in a terrible motorcycle accident. I want to say the guy brought me nothing but joy. I have just a solid fucking actor, and it pains me that Dead Heat is locked where it is, but at least it's represented well in comparison to the list. So if you're not familiar with Dead Heat, please seek that out. And I would also recommend Deep Rising and The Phantom. All 3 movies brought to the podcast by Bones. I guess you could say I fucking love Treat Williams. And look out for that substitute category coming where I force us to watch 2, 3, and 4. All right. That's enough. Go ahead.
He also has a really, really good Tales from the Crypt episode. I think it's like, it might be season 3, episode 1, or season 4, episode 1. I can't remember. But it is a really solid episode of the show.
Okay.
Nice.
I don't know if I've told my wife yet. She was a big Everwood fan. I don't know if she's found out yet. Yeah, I need to open up a line of dialogue with her finally sometime this week. All right. Kron, do you mind scrolling down a little bit?
You got it, buddy.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going. Keep going. You're so close.
Jesus.
There he is. Somebody did my man dirty. All right. We got to lock we got to lock its original position. Punisher Warzone gets its 0.5 back, dudes. I mean, the movie is just 5-day rentals through and through. And it needs to return to its rightful place. It was at 86 or 87.
It was at 86, and now it's at 67.
Okay. I'm fine with that. Ideally, it would be a little bit higher, but it was just egregiously low.
Probably good timing. I mean, I considered, giving this thing a negative 0.5 just because I thought it would get people worked up, especially considering how much you and Brantley have talked this thing up. But that also seemed a little too mean. So even if you had not done this, I would have not knocked it down even further.
I did question whether or not one of you would be mean enough to do that, but it was not a risk I was willing to take. So, Brantley, I think you share my appreciation of Punisher Warzone.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I thought you all would have assumed that's the one I was coming for with my selection, basically. So now I'm going to have to refocus my plan here that move has been made and that is now locked into position.
I thought if Bones didn't, you would. So
I figured it was coming.
I couldn't risk it, though.
No?
And I will say that I was the one that dropped it 0.5.
I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel bad about it at all.
You broke my heart that day, Dan.
You're lucky I didn't win. I would have trashed it even more.
All right, Kron. I pass it off, buddy.
Why are all your leads in the movies you pick dying off?
Oh,
good
shit.
question.
He died, too. God damn it.
Oh, that's right. Recently, right?
Did somebody sweep over my feet recently? That's not going to play, is it?
You're related to
That was
Treat
a
Williams?
That was a pre-record.
That was pre-recorded, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good joke.
Maybe you just think they're too good for this world, if you catch my drift.
All right.
I mean, I'm ready to check out. I don't know about you guys.
You got 10 years. That was Bones with the first pick here. He took 0.5 to Punisher Warzone. And, Karan, what did that move that up to? Did we say that already? Or did I miss it?
Yeah, it was like 60. I can't remember.
67.
All right. Well, that would lead us into Kron Howard with the second pick here. Take it away, sir.
Guys, we have made it 104 movies onto the big list. I don't know if any of us thought when we started this we would get to this point. And that's not even taking into account the 5-star bangers we've covered. So, in total, we've got to be at 106, somewhere around there, 107. But guys, I think after this long, the fans, they know us. They know who we are. And the one thing that they can say about Kron, this guy is a fucking gearhead. He's just always talking about cars, automobiles. He's got oil in his veins. He's got a piston for a penis. That's what they're saying out there.
Is that it?
But the one thing I've never understood about cars is the humble carburetor. How do they work? Guys, this movie is in the middle of the list, currently setting at number 33. I think it deserves to be higher. From the one and only Brian De Palma, we're going to bump up Phantom of the Paradise by 0.5.
Did you recently do a rewatch?
No, I'm just going off of all memory. I would bump this thing up to number 15 on the big list. I think it deserves to be there. It's a fun movie. Got a lot of cool songs. Weird style. Kind of outsider shit for De Palma, I think. Considering what he kind of fell into. But I don't know, super entertaining. I don't think it deserves to be kind of, upper middle.
I inclined to agree, man. I think that's a good spot for it.
Brantley, Nick, you guys seen Phantom of the Paradise?
Actually, no.
Yeah, I actually have not seen this. I like some De Palma. Some of the De Palma I've seen I have enjoyed, but I have not seen Phantom of the Paradise. I know that Sissy Spacek worked on it with her husband at the time because he was like a set decker or something like that, and worked with De Palma a lot. That's just from research on Carrie. So,
And is that how they met? Or is it just coincidental
I think they were together already.
Okay.
And maybe were even married already, because it seems like they married pretty young.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it is a more kind of approachable De Palma in a way. Like, it's a little bit more friendly to newcomers than getting into the later or midpoint of his career. Even though I like probably some of that stuff better, this is like, I don't know. You could watch this with a group of like non-movie people, and I think they would be okay with it,
Yeah, the vibe it gives off to me is like a fun midnight movie, a la Rocky Horror, but probably obviously much different than it, but like that kind of fun watch with a crowd type of movie.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty, good way of describing it.
I think I would put it above Rocky Horror. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
I agree. A lot of the shows I listen to, there's a lot of people that haven't seen it, and they always are like, dude, that's so fucking awesome. That's a fucking awesome movie. I can't believe I haven't seen that. So I'll agree. That was the first time I seen it. Kron made us watch it, and I enjoyed it.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Early on. Gentlemen, any more about Phantom of the Paradise, which is Kron's pick, adding 0.5 to it, jumping it up to number 15 here on the big list.
I think it's to you, Dan.
All right. It is to me. And, Kron, you can keep it right where it's at. And, well, we healed, but I don't think I have. Number 5 is Big Trouble in Little China. And the sum of Ron Howard was a 5, and I think I'm going to take a 0.5 from Big Trouble in Little China.
Wow.
Bold.
Mm-hmm.
Bold. It's the right move.
Can I just say before we get into the discussion, we're seeing all of the inner Excel spreadsheet working that Ron is doing, and I am very impressed.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
like
impressive.
I mean, I know you're an accountant and all, but this is real like professional shit that you're doing here, and I'm very impressed by it.
Yep.
That's all I do all day, baby.
Sorry to kind of derail with that comment, but had to be stated.
Guys, this would move Big Trouble out of the top 10. I mean, even below the movie we just talked about, Phantom of the Paradise. This thing would end up at number 22 on the big list.
Beneath Lawnmower Man.
Wow.
Wow.
Incredible. Only 5-day rentals collectively could make that call.
Well, Lawnmower Man's both you and me, Kron.
Yeah, we did both move it up 0.5.
did
I
that.
love Lawnmower Man. The movie fucking rips, dude.
It is a good time. But that does move another fucking Kurt Russell movie to number 10, which is Breakdown.
Nice. Love to see it. It was sitting at 11. I love to see that get bumped up into the top 10.
I mean, I think all the Carpenters we've covered deserve to be in the top 10. But I don't know. I know Dan doesn't like this one as much as certainly some other Carpenter movies that are out there. So I don't know. I'm okay with this. Like, we got to cover it. I didn't think we'd get to cover it for the normal show. And we did. So that's all I wanted.
Is Big Trouble the only movie on the big list that has ever received a 5 from anybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. it's-
Wow.
Outside of 5-star bangers, and for the longest time, these guys were like, just do it as a 5-star banger, and I refused. But yeah, we got to cover it, and I don't know. I gave it a 5. I do love the movie. I watched it a shitload in college, and was pretty high every time, and it's just stuck around. I still love it.
Nice.
Very cool.
And I still love you, Kron.
I love you too, buddy. Like I said, I'm happy we covered it. So I'm okay with the move.
Nice.
Bones?
No comment.
I mean,
All right.
you're wrong, but what? I'm okay with it.
You know, I come here. I've been lifting all week for this. So,
Fucking yeah, you're bussing, dude.
yeah. Sup?
So
That is Laundry Dan. Pick number 3. I'm taking 5 from Big Trouble in Little China, dropping it all the way down to number 22.
Wow.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. That is the 3rd pick, and the 4th pick we have our special guest here with us, Mr. Brantley, making his review debut. What do you got for us, Brantley?
Guys, thank you so much. Look, when I got invited to come on to this podcast, I said I have to right a historic wrong. And I came in with a plan. Bones has already taken care of that for me. I wanted to bring up a movie that was so egregiously wronged by both Dan and Kron. Now, Bones has taken care of that, but I'm going to do it again with a different movie. Another movie that Bones rated accurately, but Dan and Kron didn't give enough love to. Guys, I'm going to put a 0.5 onto Tremors, which will lock it, not to be moved again. And if I'm doing my math right, but I'm going to let Kron, Mr. Accountant here, do his magic first, but I think that might make a pretty big splash in this review here.
yeah, I think that's going to put it safely at position number 1.
Yes, sir.
Whoa.
I'm going to knock off
Yes.
Unhinged from the top of the list and put Tremors at number 1 above
Oh, wow.
Unhinged.
Excellent.
Not even going to give me a courtesy tap?
Now, look, Dan and Kron, you guys gave it a 3.5 compared to Bones' 4, but anyone not rating this movie 4 or higher, absolute egregious in my mind. And I had to come in and give that one the bump up. I absolutely love Tremors. It's one of my favorite movies. I'd argue it's like near perfect. It's just so fun, so enjoyable, good time for all. Love this movie, and I'm happy to be the one to fuck up your list and put it at number 1 overall.
It feels right, dude. It feels right.
Really, I'll be honest. This has always been like one of my alternates every single time we do a rewind show to bump it up. So
Nice.
I'm not mad at it.
Beautiful. I love it.
Unhinged has had a run, I'll say that much.
And it's a great movie. Very deserving of the time it stayed at number 1, but its time is now done.
I hope our small audience, I hope they sought out Unhinged.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's Phantom of the Paradise for sure. Like we just talked about, but Unhinged is the one that had just like fucking blew me away. Like should not work, but is just an absolute blast.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I think-
Tremors feels right.
I feel like that was even the point of us putting Unhinged at number 1, was just like, I think we all really liked it when we saw it, and it was like this underrated thing that no one was talking about.
Yeah.
And I will say, I mean, I do think I probably rated Tremors too low. I think if I could go back, I would give that a 4, at least a 4.
Look at Letterboxd. At a
For Tremors?
3.5.
That's ridiculous.
But it is I mean, it's a little crazy to come onto somebody's show and put a movie at number 1 on the list.
That's 5-day rentals, baby.
There
How
you go.
bold.
Are you trying to intimidate Nick?
No, I hope Nick does something as crazy.
This is this is like witness tampering. I haven't made my no, I don't even know what I'll do now.
I just look, when I got the offer to come on, I said, "Oh, they don't know what they've done." Because here's the thing: whether Bones had moved or not, I actually was going to go Tremors the whole time. I was just going to do my intro spiel as if I was going to go Punisher Warzone and throw you all off, and then say Tremors to add to the tension a little bit. But this was the pick the whole way. I'll be 100% honest. I said, "Oh, number 7, and it can go to number 1. I'm going to make a splash if they're going to give me this much power." So, yeah, it's bold, but fuck it. You guys let me do it, so it's on you, Kron.
I mean, let's not go crazy. I will say, like, it has an ending score now after that move of 4.67. So essentially, unless the three of us all agree that a movie is a 5, which I can tell you straight up will never happen, like, this will sit at number 1.
Well, there's one, looking at the list, there's one thing that can be done to derail it. Right? Am I crazy that number 3 could get bumped, right?
I mean, you could potentially bump, like, 3, Prince of Darkness, Running Man, maybe Apocalypto would just tie. Oh, yeah, so really, Prince of Darkness is the only available move left that
so
could
my
potentially be above it.
Tremors might have a short run at number 1, but I figured I should come in and get it to number 1 while I could, and let it have its little run at the top of the board, however long that may be.
I like it.
Thank you.
I'm glad you came on here with fist flying, Brantley.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I mean...
Little windmill.
Mm-hmm.
Just, how long have we been on this rock? All right. Well, there you have it. What's his first appearance on the Rewind? Brantley putting Tremors up. Number 1 on the list. We'll see how long it lasts. Usually our number 1s have a long championship run. So, but gentlemen, I think it's time to simmer down a little, let everybody catch their breath, and play a little game here. I believe Bones has one lined up for us this time, and
I think
we're going to do Brantley's first.
Oh, we're doing Brantley's first. All right, well, Brantley, it's all yours.
Oh, thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it. Look, you guys are always so kind and generous to us, and you say that we always come on and we class up the podcast and everything, and that's very kind of you. It's very sweet. But in that tradition of us coming on and quote unquote classing up, well, what's classier than fucking Shakespeare? Am I right? So I'm going to play. We're going to
sign off.
Good night, y'all.
We're going to play a little game called To Be or Not To Be. This is a game in which I'm going to ask you questions if a movie is on the streaming service Tubi or if it's not on Tubi.
Wow. I love it.
God damn it.
I spend a lot of time flipping through Tubi.
This is fucking genius.
God, why didn't we think of
God
this?
damn it. Yeah.
I love it. I'm glad that you guys are on board, because when I thought of it, I said, oh, this is the perfect game for the 5-Day Rentals podcast. To determine the order, we're going to play a game of Guess the Letterbox Score. You guys most recently did a movie on Blacktop, which stars Meatloaf. Meatloaf has been in other films, of course. So, can you please guess the Letterbox Score for the 1980 Meatloaf rock comedy Roadie? And I'm going to start with you, Bones. Bones, what do you think that has on Letterboxd?
2.1.
Okay, Bones is saying 2.1. Kron, what do you think that has for a score?
What was the year?
It was a 1980 film.
I'm going to go with 2.6.
2.6. Okay, Dan, what do you think that has for a Letterboxd score?
Oh, I fucking looked at this too when I was looking at Blacktop.
Oh, did you really?
I'm going to go with 2.5.
2.5. All right,
It's right
Nick.
there in the middle.
Nick, what do you think Rhodey has a letterbox score of?
So I'm going to do 2.2. I think there's a gap there. 2, 3, and 2, 4 haven't been chosen, right? So
They have not, no.
okay, so I'm doing 2.2.
All right, so Karan will go first in this round because he guessed 2.6. The actual letterbox score is 2.8. Wow. Everybody was low, but Karan was the closest. Dan had 2.5, so he will go second. Nick will go third because he guessed 2.2, and then Bones will be fourth at 2.1. There shouldn't actually be any benefit to going in the order we're going to go in, but I've got this broken down into 5 rounds. Each round is centered around a classic action star. Okay? Round 1 is Chuck Norris. So, Kron, with the first question in to be or not to be, and you can answer it that way. You could say to be or not to be. That will be whichever the way to go. Is the Chuck Norris action film Missing in Action to be or not to be?
Missing in Action. Brantley, I'm going to go with to be.
Okay, thank you very much for your guess. That is incorrect. Missing in Action is not on the streaming service Tubi. Thank you, though, Kron.
Rigged ass.
Fucking loser.
Dan, you are up next.
Yes, sir.
Next Chuck Norris film in To Be or Not To Be is Missing in Action 2. Is that on Tubi or not to be?
Not to be.
That is incorrect. Dan, I'm so sorry. Missing in Action 2 with the sequel is on Tubi. Thank you very much for playing, though.
It's good that they have 2 and not 1. You don't need the lead-in.
All right. Nick, you
Yes,
are
sir.
up, sir.
Okay.
Your Chuck Norris film is Delta Force 2. Is Delta Force 2 to be or not to be?
I'm going to go with not to be.
Nick, that is unfortunately incorrect. Delta Force 2 is on Tubi.
Okay.
We have gone almost this entire first round with incorrect guesses. Will Bones alter the course of this first round and be the first contestant to get on the board? Bones, your Chuck Norris action film is Braddock, Missing in Action 3. Is that to be or not to be?
Tubi.
Bones, you have done it. You have gotten on the board. Missing in Action 2 and 3 are on Tubi, but not the original. The first round conclude. Sorry,
are there? How many are there?
Yeah,
I think there's 4, or maybe I think there's 4. I don't know. I just looked through. I got 4 for each actor, and then I moved on basically. All right. That concludes round 1. Bones is on the board. He has correctly guessed. He currently has a score of 1. To the other contestants, 0. But Kron, we're coming back to you. This is your chance to get on the board. Round 2 is centered around, I know he's your favorite action star, Steven Seagal. And I believe it's mostly for his politics you're really a big fan of, right?
Oh,
true.
yeah, the guy.
2024.
Genius. Yeah.
Yes. Nice.
And
So
I like the way he eats carrots as well.
Oh, beautiful.
So.
I'm a big fan of the way he dresses. Well, this is your chance with your favorite action star to get on the board. Kron, your movie is Above the Law. Is that to be or not to be?
Brantley, I'm going with to be.
Kron, that is unfortunately incorrect. Above the Law is not on Tubi.
Brantley, what are you doing here?
All right, I'm so sorry, Kron. You're going to have better luck, I'm sure, in the next 3 rounds, but we are now on to Dan. Dan, your Steven Seagal film is Under Siege. Is that Tubi or not Tubi?
Not Tubi.
Dan, you are on the board, sir. You are correct. Under Siege is not on Tubi. All right, Nick, we're coming to you here.
Okay.
Your Steven Seagal film is Under Siege 2, Dark Territory. Is that Tubi or not Tubi?
I'm going to go with Tubi.
Nick, I am so sorry. You are incorrect. That is also not on Tubi. All right. Final question of the second round. We are coming back to Bones. He could widen his lead 2-1 over Dan. Let's see.
Don't count
if he
on
can
it.
get this right. Bones. Is the Steven Seagal film The Patriot from 1998 Tubi or not Tubi?
Not Tubi.
Bones. I'm very sorry. That is incorrect. That actually is on Tubi. Most of his classic films were not. It was all of his, like, usually 2000s and later straight to DVD kind of crap that made it onto Tubi. And that one, unfortunately, is
a classic.
Is a classic.
I
see what you're saying.
I do think that is the dropping point. I think that movie is his, like...
Fall
he had
off.
that great run up in the 90s, and I really remember Patriot being like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And after that, it was straight to video.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yep. Well, you know.
I'm not going to win, so I can't change it. I'm just going
you're tied for first place, sir, after 2 rounds with 1 point. You and Dan are both tied at 1. We got 3 more rounds left. I hope this isn't taking too much time. All right. 3rd round, Jean-Claude Van Damme, JCVD himself. Kron, we're back to you. Is the Jean-Claude Van Damme film Bloodsport Tubi or not Tubi?
Brantley, the law of averages would say at this point we should be Tubi. That's my answer, Tubi.
Kron, I'm so sorry.
Brantley, this is a rigged ass game, dude. All number ones are not Tubi?
I'm very sorry. It is not on Tubi.
Brantley, I'm going to answer the next 2 not Tubi. And I swear to Christ, if they're on Tubi, I'm going to fucking lose it, dude.
I'm sorry, Kron. Look, I tried to randomize the answers as best as I could.
Oh, did you?
And I had no idea who was going to be in what place before the game started.
It's 50-50, you asshole. Come on.
Law of averages. I've had 2 not Tubis, dude.
You're in your head, bro.
Yeah,
You're in your head too
now.
much.
I've had 3 now.
Sorry. All right. Dan.
Yes, sir.
Your JCVD film is Kickboxer. Is that Tubi or not Tubi?
I'll go Tubi.
Dan, you are in the lead, sir, because that is on Tubi.
Nice.
You are currently leading 2-1, but we are only halfway through the 3rd round. Nick, you're on the board. We're going to a more modern Jean-Claude Van Damme film. And that's the very meta JCVD. Is that Tubi or not Tubi?
That is Tubi.
Nick, you are also on the board now.
Right.
Yeah.
You got your first point. All right, Bones.
Welcome, Nick.
Thank you.
You could tie Dan here at 2 points if you get this correct. Your Jean-Claude Van Damme film is Hard Target. Is that to be or not to be?
To be.
Bones, you are correct. You and Dan are now tied at 2 points, and we are going to round 4. All right, gentlemen. Round 4's actor is Jackie Chan.
Oh.
And we are starting with you, Kron. Kron, the movie is Drunken Master. Is that to be or not to be?
Brantley.
Kron.
Law of averages would say that this has to be to be.
Kron. I'm very happy to report you are on the board.
Yes.
That is on
It's about
to be.
time. It's about time.
You just saved your ass, Brantley.
Okay. Dan, we are
Yes,
coming
sir.
to you. The film is The Prisoner. Is that to be or not to be?
Trying to think what fucking year this is. Not to be.
Dan, I am very sorry. That is incorrect. The Prisoner is on Tubi, but you are still in the lead at 2 points. We are now going to Nick. Nick, can you tie up the top score of 2?
Certainly
Your
hope so.
film- I hope so. Let's see. Your film is Rush Hour. Is that to be or not to be?
Not to be.
Nick, you are correct. That is not on the streaming service Tubi. You are tied at 2 points with Dan and Bones. But Bones has a chance to move into the lead here. Your film is Rumble in the Bronx. Is that to be or not to be?
To be.
Bones, I'm very sorry. That is not on the streaming service Tubi. So, after 4 rounds, we have a 3-way tie between Bones, Dan, and Nick at 2 points each. Kron could tie it here in round 5. He does have 1 point. And speaking of round 5, we're going there now. Kron, to tie for 2 points. We're talking Arnold Schwarzenegger in round 5.
Ooh.
Your film is Stay Hungry. Is that to be or not to be?
I don't even know this movie. When did this thing come out?
Early in his career.
Not allowed.
How's that not allowed? I would. Brantley, to be.
Kron, I am happy to report that you are correct, and you are now tied at 2 with all the other contestants, but we got to see how these final 3 guesses of the 5th round shake out. Dan, you are on
Yes,
the
sir.
board, sir. Your
Give it to
Arnold
me.
Schwarzenegger film is Junior. Is that to be or not to be?
That's been an HBO forever. I'm going to say not to be.
Gentlemen, we have a new leader. Dan is
Oh,
correct.
nice.
Junior is
Incredible.
not on 2B. He is currently leading the field with 3 points, but Nick and Bones could both tie that score. And Nick, we're coming to you.
All right.
Is the Arnold Schwarzenegger film Raw Deal to be or not to be?
To be.
Nick, I am very sorry. Raw Deal is not on Tubi.
What a bummer.
All right, Bones. It comes down to this. If you get it right, you tie with Dan and we go to the first tiebreaker round.
How
Okay?
many tiebreaker rounds are there?
I did
Doesn't
2.
matter,
I did,
loser.
I did 2 just in case. Because these were 50-50 questions. If you get it wrong, Dan wins outright. Here we go, Bones. Is the early Arnold Schwarzenegger film Hercules in New York to be or not to be?
Brantley, thank you for the game. This has been a blast. Dan, if you win, congratulations. I'm happy for you. This is 50-50. It is what it is. I'm going to say that Hercules in New York is not on Tubi.
Gentlemen, we have a winner in this game, and that is
Congrats.
Dan, because unfortunately that is on Tubi. Dan is our winner with a score of 3. Well done, gentlemen. I hope you had as much fun playing this game as I had putting it together, because this was a lot of fun.
Who were the?
That was great.
Who were the tiebreaker actors?
Sure thing. Tiebreakers. The first tiebreaker is Bruce Lee. Okay, so and that was actually tough to figure out because there's all this Bruce Lee exploitation where they would do all these body doubles, and a crap ton of those are on there. So sorting through to figure out which ones were and weren't was a little difficult because they say Bruce Lee on the covers and everything. Yeah. That's not right.
Isn't there like a Bruce Lie, like a guy that just like changed a letter? And
Yes, exactly. Because they used all these lookalikes to make a bunch of martial arts films throughout the rest of the 70s after he had died and everything. But he was going to be the first tiebreaker, and then the tiebreaker in the second round, Keanu Reeves. I mean, the man's made such legendary action movies, but of course, all the Keanu Reeves ones. This was the little Lake House, Babes in Toyland, My Own Private Idaho, or The Prince of Pennsylvania. We're going to be the Keanu Reeves questions. I was actually going to throw a curveball and not do action films for that one. But there you go, gentlemen. That was to be or not to be. I didn't want to tell you anything about the game before I came on because I was worried you might kind of start looking through to be and seeing what was or wasn't on there. And I appreciate all of you playing it straight. I didn't see any fingers try to clicky-clack on keyboards and look it up or anything. So that was fun. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Brantley.
Thank you, Brantley.
You're doing the work for us.
Dan, you said it out loud, but I was doing the same thing when you said Junior was on HBO. Like, I clocked it. I think, Nick, you had one too where I was like, I'm pretty sure I saw that on HBO not too long ago. But, like, we all have, we all do the hour click-through. So it's somewhere, but I feel it was a great game, man.
I feel like Bloodsport was on Tubi as recent as like 6 months ago.
It probably was.
Yeah, because
as recently as today, when I checked all of these, it was not though.
I trust you. I just think I know I've seen it on Tubi at some point in my life.
There you go. Yeah,
I'm surprised Rumble in the Bronx isn't. I don't know if that's streaming anywhere. What a great movie.
It's HBO right now.
Is it?
It's on HBO? Okay,
awesome.
And Rush Hour was on there, I think, a few weeks ago. I could have swore I seen it.
Oh, wow.
But
no, it was not on there today.
They might have took it off for June, maybe.
And I will say Twins is on Tubi, which is why I was hoping would throw someone off if I said Junior instead, which wasn't. But Dan sniffed that one out to get the victory, so kudos.
Good job, dude.
Nicely done.
Congrats, Dan.
Thanks, guys. Call it a night. Good night. Crash and burn. Going out on top, motherfuckers. Well, Brantley, thank you for the game.
Got it.
Do we need to take a break before we get into the final rounds here of the rewind, or are you guys good?
Let's defer to the guests.
Gentlemen?
I'm good. Yeah, I can go if you guys are ready to go.
All right. Well, that moves us to pick number 5, our second guest here on the Rewind number 9. Nick, let us have it. Fuck this list up, please. Just give it all you got.
Yeah, there's not going to be any earth-shattering things like Brantley. I can tell you that. But I have it narrowed down to 2. And I got to say, one of them is Mad Max Fury Road. And I agree with everything you guys said on your coverage of it. I loved that movie when it came out. I saw it twice in theaters. I probably would have given it a 5-star rating back in whenever it came out, 2015, I guess. 2015. I bought the Blu-ray as soon as it came out. The Blu-ray sits on my shelf in its shrink wrap to this day. I have just not had any desire to watch that movie since, despite loving every second of it theatrically. The other movie I'm considering is Cliffhanger, because I love that movie. But I know that in spite of my love for that movie, seeing it with a rating over 4 just doesn't feel right. But you know what? I have to lean back on which movie would I be most likely to throw in on any given day, and the answer is Cliffhanger, and I'm going to raise it a half point.
Fuck yeah.
Nice move.
Oh, thank you. Love that movie.
Did you hear they are doing a remake, Nick?
Yeah, I was just actually saw an article about that today. But he's like involved, right? Stallone is
I don't
in
know
it.
if he's acting, but or if he's just going to produce or what, or maybe he's in it, but he's not the main character anymore. I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah, like a reboot where he's like, maybe he'll play the Frank character and like.
Oh, he'll have some weird ass monkey painting.
Yeah. Nature in reverse.
Hell yeah.
I hope so.
You know, I didn't get this before, but I do now.
The close.
Cliffhanger would end up at number 5 on the big list. So,
wow.
I guess, sorry, Breakdown, your time in the top 10 was short-lived.
Another Kron in the top 10, huh?
Hey,
You know, Nick, I think that is pretty earth-shattering. I think putting something in the top 5 is a pretty big move.
I guess that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Look at you guys.
Now,
It's going to take months to clean up.
Nick, your logic of like, well, if I bump this a 0.5, it going in addition to the average puts it above a 4.
Yeah.
I don't know if we talked about this on previous rewinds, but when we were shooting the idea of this and constructing it and talking about where we would put this, I had always wanted the 0.5 to be, and please don't take this as I think we need to change it because this is what it is now. I was always trying to treat it as like, oh, I'm using my 0.5 to bump up one particular person's score. To adjust the average that way. So like early on, me talking about like Batman Forever, like fuck, it needs a 0.5 because I think you gave it too low, and it going against the overall average bumped it super high. And it actually took me a little bit to get that feel because my logic was always like, I'm trying to bump Dan's, prey score up 0.5 or whatever, not the total average. But, the checks and balances of the system are there. And I think the letterbox thing has definitely helped. It's definitely adjust the ranking. But it took me a little bit to break that too, because I might love something that's in the top 5, but its number might be just a hair what I would actually give it. But the system is what it is. So I'm sure in some of those early episodes where they were yelling at me, I was like trying to convey like, that's what I'm trying to do. Like, I'm not trying to, but.
I mean, I will say for Cliffhanger, like, I'm never going to be mad about seeing Lithgow move into the top 5. So I'm totally cool with this move. And I really love the setup for Cliffhanger where, like, the opening is just like, hey, this girl has never gone rock climbing before. Let's put her on Death Summit and see how she pans out.
She would have never made it that high.
Well, I wouldn't have, and neither would have that lady who had no business being up there. I mean,
all right. With the number 5 pick, Nick takes Cliffhanger all the way up to the number 5 spot. Both our guests have made their way into the top 5 tonight here. With Tremors, with Brantley, we got Unhinged now at 2. We got Prince of Darkness at 3. Running Man at 4. And Cliffhanger coming in at 5. Just hanging on. I believe that goes back to me with the 6th pick, if I'm correct. Are we ready, gentlemen?
Ready when
Let's
you
do
are,
it.
buddy.
Gentlemen, my wife has XM radio. And we
Oh, Brewster's
use-
Millions over there at the Laundry Dan house.
Yeah. We're fucking rich. Okay? And the other day I got into the car to drive it, and I heard a Trace Atkins song. And I said, Trace Atkins. And that made me think of number 29 on our list. I said, man, it was a really good fucking movie. I'm going to take a 0.5 to Old Henry, gentlemen, because I think it deserves it. I think it's a good movie. Good performances, and I think about it often. I'm glad I picked it.
All right, that would move Old Henry up to position 11 on the big list.
Nice.
Breakdown getting bumped down one more. Ooh,
Oh boy, yeah.
Yeah, what a bummer.
Well, you guys, have you seen Old Henry?
I actually haven't. No.
Yeah, same here.
I think Breakdown's a better movie than Old Henry, but what are you going to do?
I mean, yeah, Kron, you did rate it the lowest of all of us, so.
But the people like Old Henry more, right? I mean, that's the
That's true. That's what
defining
the people
factor.
want.
That so
Yeah.
I would
that's
imagine
surprising.
that's a smaller grouping of people, though. So, if 100 people rate Old Henry a 4, that could be like a larger percentage of the total populace rating the movie, whereas Breakdown might be more seen, have more of a, all over the place kind of rating.
Yeah.
thank you for the accounting average lesson there, huh?
Beautiful.
That's cool.
Gentlemen,
That
anybody
came out a
on
lot
Henry?
nastier than I meant it to. I was trying to reference the game where you kept saying law of averages. Sorry.
Uh-huh.
I get it. People hate me. I get it.
Fuck no, you're the favorite.
You ate.
man,
you
you're the
hate Old
season-
Henry.
Season 1 standout, dude.
And where would this podcast be without your amazing Excel spreadsheet work here?
It'd be a fucking mess. It'd be post-its all over my
Exactly.
desk and shit.
I don't even look at this stuff. But yeah, that's my pick, guys. Old Henry, Nick Brantley, check it out. It's a good movie. I'm not sure. I don't think it's on Tubi, but Showtime maybe.
I'll seek it out.
Yeah,
I'll see where
It's
it
good.
is.
I would say watch it with your dad. They'd like that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we could do dad westerns horror drafts, which isn't horror at all, Old Henry would be there.
Old Henry and Cliffhanger, dude. That's a dad double
That's a-
feature.
It's a
Yeah.
fucking dad weekend right there.
That's a Sunday morning after partying a little too hard, Dad. Hangover day. There, it sounds like.
Had a little too much scotch, son. All right, with number 6, it's me. I took Old Henry. I gave it a 0.5 because it fucking deserves it. And that would go to number 7, Cron Howard. Let us have it.
All right, boys. There are a few things I could do based on the way that this game has gone to this point. Could move up Prince of Darkness easily. Get that at number 1. Could undo the negative 0.5 to Big Trouble. Could move Breakdown up by 0.5. But guys, really the only move that I had considered doing leading into this was what I'm about to do now, which is none of those things. This is a move that I think will not bother anyone at all because it pertains to the very bottom of the list. But we watched this movie together. Is it a good movie? No, not really. Does it have a big hot dog? And do we say crash and burn every single episode? We sure do. I think the movie, let's see, where is this? Robot Jocks is currently 93 out of 104 on our big list. I I'm not going to argue that it's a great movie, but I do think it deserves to be higher than it is right now. And that's where I'm putting my last 0.5 of this round.
I like it.
Yep.
Crash and burn. That is where that's from.
Yep. I came across the novelization of that movie not that long ago.
Have you started reading it?
Nope. Maybe one of these days I'll get around to it.
Guys,
It's amazing how 5 Day Rentals finds you, Brantley.
Yes.
Up there in New Hampshire.
Yeah. Between the DVD for Blacktop and the Robot Jocks novelization, I've come across some 5DR stuff in the wild pretty recently, yeah.
Robot Jocks would move up to 83 on the big list. Honestly, I do think a more fair placement for the film.
I agree.
I think that is fair.
Great hot dog. Ooh,
Mhm.
great.
Huge, massive hot dog in that movie.
It is. It really is.
Could feed a family of 7 with this thing.
All right. Well, that's Cron Howard with the 7th pick, moving Robot Jocks up by 0.5. Bones, it all comes down to you, the winner of this round, this very extended round. A chance for more points, which I failed on. And of course, you've succeeded. So let's hear it. What do you got?
I was going to correct something from very early on. Apologies for the dog. Very early on in the podcast, still getting a feel for utilizing the full potential of the rating system, but something happened today and I can't abide it. We gotta correct the big trouble. We gotta square that back up and lock that bad boy. So
This is bullshit.
You did the right thing, Bones.
Now, on how many of your rewinds has a movie gotten both of its moves done in that same episode?
I'd say 3.
I think
Okay.
Unhinged had it.
Lawnmower Man.
Unhinged.
Greasy Strangler.
Well, I think there was Lawnmower Man and Tales from the Crypt, because Dan and
Well,
I basically did the exact same thing.
Is your question somebody took it away and then added back, or is
Or
that
just
your question, Brandon?
any two moves, like a movie on the list got both of its moves used in the same episode, whether they were up or down or a mix of the two or what.
So Unhinged, we had Demon Knight.
Lawnmower Man?
Was that
Yep.
all in the same ep?
Yep.
Greasy Strangler.
Hmm.
I don't know. I can't see the bottom of the list. Monster Dog, or did I move that up with?
You just moved it up, I think.
Probably
Okay.
Batman Forever, because I think Bones
Didn't I-
put a point in, and then one of us took it at least 5
I think
away.
I made it.
0.5.
Took 1.
I thought I saved it to the end and put 1 into it, and then the next
that-
round you guys took it down.
That could be.
Yeah.
Okay. Just
So, yeah,
curious.
it
Sorry.
happens.
Yeah.
It's nice to witness that history, be here in person to see it happen.
Big Trouble in Little China would be restored to the top 10, ending at position number 7 on the big list. Guys, that is the concluding rewind for season 1 of the 5 Day Rentals. I think real quick we just run through, what do you think, top 25 of these?
Sure.
All right.
Let 'em have
here
it,
they are.
Kron.
Top 25 of the big list for 5 Day Rentals, as decided by me, Kron, Bones, Laundry Dan, Brantley, and Nick from the 5 Day Rentals podcast. Here we go. Number 1, Tremors. 2, Unhinged. 3, Prince of Darkness. 4, Running Man. 5, Cliffhanger. 6, Apocalypto. 7, Big Trouble in Little China. 8, Extreme Prejudice. 9, Amsterdam. 10, Maniac Cop 2. 11, Rad. 12, Old Henry. 13, Breakdown. 14, Raising Cain. 15, Dead Heat. 16 Mad God, 17 Phantom of the Paradise, 18 Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight, 19 Thunderbolt and Lightfoot, 20 Upgrade, 21 Prey, 22 Highlander, 23 The Lawnmower Man, 24 Livewire, and Bones, 25 Batman Forever.
That's a solid list.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys should be proud of yourselves. This season has been fantastic, and you put together a hell of a big list.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
Brantley, the question is, should we start another list for season 2?
I was just going to ask you how that would work. Yeah, or do you come back on the first rewind of next season and still have the opportunity to change some of these?
I don't know. I could see it going.
Yeah.
If we do season 2 as long as we did season 1, I could see an argument for a new big list. But I don't know if we just keep adding, like, rank 200 some movies instead of 100. I don't know. I go back.
Yeah, I think the question will become like, at what point does the list get too unwieldy? Where, you're searching for something at number 227, and you're like, what's the point of even moving this? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, IMDb has a top 250. Should 5 Day Rentals have their top 250? I don't know. I could see the merits of both, having a whole new list for the second season, and then maybe your end of the year rewind. You do that, and then once that's done, you kind of compare among the two seasons, and then you figure out, what would be where, sort of thing. I don't know.
A big tournament of champions.
Yeah.
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 The top 32 movies from either season, or the top 64, something like that. Sure. Or the top 32 from each or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that could work.
We could do like another masturbatory giant
could draft
crossover
'em.
where everybody drafts from each season.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
That's cool. That would be fun.
Require more than the three of us to have watched every single one of these movies, which is a huge ask. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, this whole watch along thing is kind of a bummer. Now I understand why there's fucking podcasts that just talk about Jurassic Park and fucking Die Hard.
Yeah.
They figured it out.
maybe in season 2 we'll just do every minute of Jurassic Park. We'll become one of those podcasts.
I'm
You
sure
should do
you're going to
that,
have
but
a category for it.
Yeah. I was going to say you should do that, but it shouldn't be something amazing like Jurassic Park. It should be Unhinged, the Unhinged minute, where you break down every minute of that and Russell Crowe's amazing performance.
Hey, we got to do something once Thunder in Paradise is done.
No, we don't. We can take a vacation.
Dan, you just recommended another show
I
like 2
did.
days ago.
And you told me that information, and I was like, yeah, no.
Dan recommended, a show from the 90s, but I think it's 8 seasons. He said,
Jesus.
I don't
like,
think
I'm
we should
out.
do that.
I'm out.
Yeah. What? Oh, maybe you don't want to say on air, but
It was silk stockings.
All right. Bleep that, Bones. We might.
Yeah, we
One
might actually do
season.
that. It's behind the scene. All right. Guys, are you ready for a palate cleanser?
let's do it.
Let's do it. Yep.
A huge thank you for taking time to come revisit the list with us.
Well, thank you.
Podcast
thank
family.
you.
All right. It was my turn for a game. When I found out that you two were coming on, I thought, I got to scrap this. But in looking back at our categories and trying to find inspiration, I was inspired by Dan's category of Direction Erection, where we covered the films of Walter Hill. And I thought, what would be a fun little tag team game? So I have come up with the Direction Erection quiz. Now this is how it's going to work. You guys are going to pair off. To start, Nick, I'm going to ask you to pick a number, 1 or 2.
1.
All right, Nick, you will be teamed up with Kron. Brantley, you will be teamed up with Dan. Now,
Let's do it.
behind the scenes, I will be texting a director's name to Dan and Kron. Their objective is to get you, their teammate, to name said director. But you cannot list a movie that they have directed, and you can't use any sort of rhymes with blah, blah, blah.
Oh my god.
Okay?
I feel the pressure already.
Yep.
Jesus.
Can I say, like, this guy worked with this actor or actress?
I think I am going to allow that because some of this, I thought about this and there's going to be some carryover. So you will get 2 attempts to guess. If you do not get it, the next team gets 1 opportunity to steal.
Oh, wow.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So
Are
we
these
are,
rounds timed? Like, do we have to guess within like a minute or two?
I'm gonna use the my internal clock. Okay, for the sake of a sport here.
Sure.
Okay, so for practice, Dan, you selected. So Kron, would you guys like to go first or second?
I say we go second and see how this works.
Okay.
Good
Quick
call.
question. On
Good
the
call.
steal, do the teammates have a chance to confer to each other quickly before making an individual guess?
Elaborate the question. I'm not sure I follow.
Can we
So
discuss?
when it comes, if the opportunity to steal comes about, can the 2 members on the team kind of talk it through and be like, "Oh, I think it's this person. Oh, are you sure? Because it could be this person," before they come to a final. Because they only have 1 chance before they come to a final choice.
Yes. So let's say
Okay.
opposite team, Nick does not get it in 2 guesses.
Mm-hmm.
Dan is then given the opportunity to give you 1 more clue to then get it.
Okay.
Does that work? Okay.
I see.
All right. Kron, you said you guys are going to go second.
That's correct.
So you're going to do the test run. Okay. Now, for clarification, these are American directors. Okay.
Got it.
But for the sake of this example, you guys got your phones.
I got mine.
Okay. This is just a test run.
They're all American for every round?
Yes.
Okay.
With the exception of this example. So, Kron.
Got it.
So I can basically just make a statement and then Nick has to guess. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. This director has some of the current, like, biggest budgets available and has worked in both sci-fi and comic book movies.
Oh, shit. And isn't American.
No, is American.
Is.
He is not.
Oh, shit. Okay, this is just an example.
Yeah, sorry. I purposely chose one that wasn't American so I could.
But sci-fi and comic book movies, big budgets, not American.
Oh, I think I know.
All right, I'm going to need a guess.
Yeah, I don't... comic book movies? Fuck. I don't know. I got nothing.
Kron, you want to try again? Another sentence?
Yeah. He has a movie coming out this summer that is all about a massive scientific invention.
Oh, Christopher Nolan.
That's it. So then, for example, if you guys did not get it, Dan, you would get the opportunity to say another sentence.
Bong.
That's what I assumed was going to happen. Yeah.
Nice. It was either him or the only other one I was thinking was maybe Taika Waititi, but
Oh.
but the second clue kind of confirmed. Oh, okay, it's Nolan.
I guess, is that okay? Like, if I'm not saying the title of the movie, but I am describing, here's what an upcoming movie or a previous movie is.
I would say it's okay. It's okay.
Can we quote a line from the movie?
I would say no.
No?
You can try. Yeah, you can describe the movie.
But a musical cue like bong is appropriate.
Yeah, because I would say that's like more score and sort of like ingrained in them, maybe.
Okay, all right.
Does anybody else want to challenge that?
Well, there's some very, known scores, so,
Yeah, I was going to say I can't imagine like another score-based thing would come up, but I guess we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, maybe.
I mean, I feel like movie descriptions, too, could get pretty specific, and we'd have to, like, for instance, if you said, like, he made 3 movies about a man who crossed with some flying creature,
mm-hmm.
I would,
Maybe you can't give the plot, but you could, like I did, say it's a movie coming out, this summer.
Yeah.
Damn, Brantley, I should have gone first. Your game was so much better.
Well, this one I feel like there's more pressure. I mean,
yeah, no, I'm just asking questions because the pressure is, I feel so on the spot.
Stupid.
Yeah.
If I get it wrong.
Yep.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I like this.
I would say you cannot get too specific to a plot, but you can talk about like style, technique, things like that. We talked about like you can use actors.
Okay.
So
got it. Okay,
right.
I like it. I'm ready.
Right. Dan, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Sending over now.
All right, first clue here, Brantley.
Hey, wait, just 1 second. I'm not going to look at this, but you should send these separately in case we have the chance to steal, right?
No. The whole point is you can potentially steal because
Cool.
you're thinking based on his.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right.
This director, he walked in to a pitch and just simply put an S at the end of a title.
That would be Mr. James Cameron.
There's 1 point for Dan and Brantley.
Good job.
Good one.
It's a good clue.
Although, didn't he put an S and then didn't he also do
The
some
money sign,
sign.
apparently.
It worked.
as the rumor goes, at least the legend.
All right, Kron.
All right. This guy made some of the most technically amazing movies of any time period and died before his last movie premiered.
My first guess would be Stanley Kubrick.
That is correct. 1 point.
Okay.
Kyle and Nick.
Cool.
That's what immediately popped into my head, but then I questioned, oh wait, he is American, right? Because he lived in
England for like his whole life. I know. I just had the exact
But I
same
was
thought.
No,
as I said
he's
it.
like from New York, right?
Yeah.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan, coming your way.
This director is married to an SNL alum.
I'm drawing a blank on that one. I'm sorry. Oh. Nope. I do have a guess. Paul Thomas Anderson.
That is correct.
Good job.
Nice.
All right. I was like, what? SN? And then I was like, oh yeah, Maya Rudolph. Okay.
Hope this is
Suck it, Kron.
interesting
Thanks,
to
buddy.
the listener. Kron,
Yes, I hope so.
here it comes.
This director's last movie came out on Netflix, was in black and white, and maybe had the most mixed reaction of any of his films.
It was in black and white, came out on Netflix. Black and white, came out on Netflix. Shit. The black and white thing is throwing me, so I'm gonna have to get another clue, I think.
All right. His breakout quasi-horror movie had Brad Pitt and Kevin Spacey.
Oh, David Fincher.
Is that correct, Bones?
That is correct. Sorry.
What was his?
I figured. What was the black?
yeah.
Why am I-
Mank?
Oh my god! Of course.
Mank. Yeah. Oh Jesus.
Right. That
Yeah,
really
I guess
threw
that
me. The
speaks
black and
to
white
the-
thing. I should have known that.
Yeah. Speaks to the cultural significance of some of these Netflix movies, even their big budget
Come
ones.
and go. That's where his next one's
Yeah.
coming too.
I mean, I watched it, and I was like, I had a hard time
killer.
thinking what it was.
Maybe I should have tried to describe anything but Mank. I mean, that
No.
might have not been the way to go.
All right, Dan, you have it.
This director. Let me see. Where can I go here? Made a household name out of Jeremy Renner.
Household name out of Jeremy Renner. I mean, and I can guess incorrect, and he can do another one, right?
Yes.
Okay. Fuck. Oh God.
Give you 5 more seconds.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not pulling anything. Sorry, Dan. I'm gonna need a second clue.
All right. This director may have learned some craft from one of the previous questions.
Fuck me. Jesus, I'm not pulling it. I think I know the movie you're referring to, but I'm not pulling the director on it.
10 seconds.
I know this is not right because I think he directed a different one. I'm just gonna say Joss Whedon because I can't think of fucking anyone else.
That is incorrect.
No.
Kron,
Fuck me.
opportunity to steal.
All right. Unlike a lot of this director's most recent work, one of the biggest things they've done involves surfing.
Involves surfing. Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck. Catherine Bigelow.
That is correct. Catherine Bigelow.
Damn it!
That was a tough one.
I was thinking the first Avengers movie made him a.
The Jeremy Renner thing.
And I was
Yeah,
thinking
made him
Ben
a household
Affleck because of
name.
the town. I couldn't remember that he had that other, right, Hurt Locker.
Yeah, and I know it won Best Picture, but I don't. And I know it did decently well, but I was thinking the Avengers, the first Avengers movie, and I couldn't pull the director.
After 5
Sorry.
rounds, Kyle and Nick are in the lead. 3-2.
Fucking hell.
All right.
Rigged.
Kyle, Nick, we stay with you. I am typing as we speak. Sorry, listener. I hope this is fun for you guys. This
is great.
Stressful.
Very stressful.
It is stressful.
It is so stressful.
And I feel like I've now let Dan down because I got the first question wrong.
I was just trying to make it to where I didn't say her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you've said he in other ones, and he has come up in others. I guess I don't know why that wouldn't be allowed. You could say she directed the movie that The Fast and the Furious rips off. Something like that.
Okay. This director, who I believe is now retired, has made a trilogy of Vegas heist movies.
Steven Soderbergh.
That is correct.
He's still making movies, Kron.
I thought he's
retired like 6 times, so
yeah, it's hard to keep up with if he's retired or not, to be honest. But I believe the last thing he said he's done. So,
all right, we're coming back to Dan and Brantley.
This director has used the actor Johnny Depp many, many times.
I immediately am going to guess Tim Burton.
Tim Burton is correct. All right. Kron, coming your way. Nick, hope you're ready.
Yeah, I think so.
This director made an extremely significant impact on sci-fi and has continued to complain and re-edit his movies ever since.
First guess will be George Lucas.
George Lucas is correct.
Okay.
I'm thinking now that I
Nice.
should have got your guys' numbers so we could have switched halfway. Because I'm thinking like, oh, we're just putting a shit ton of pressure on you two.
I would feel more pressure making the questions too, to be honest. Yeah.
There's pressure to describe.
Yeah, that
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that's
May I ask how many more rounds are left?
Apologies. I have 20 total. We are halfway.
Okay. Okay.
Jesus.
Right.
I just need to know how much opportunity I have to make up or Nick to screw up or whatever.
This would be round number 9.
All right.
It's me, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's you.
This director just remodeled a theater out in LA that everybody is always going to.
I believe that is Mr. Quentin Tarantino, and the theater is the New Beverly.
That is correct.
Did he just
Yes.
remodel it? I know he's owned it for a while. I didn't realize they
I
remodeled.
thought they remodeled it whenever he bought it, right?
Yeah, but wasn't that a while ago?
Yeah, that's quite
A
a...
few years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has it been open that long? Oh, shit. I don't know.
Yeah. 'Cause
Mach-
he owned the building
Machete
even
Greg
before
will
that.
fill in.
Yeah.
Greg, let us know.
Kron, you have your clue.
Yep. Made some of the most successful gangster movies of all time and now makes wine.
Francis Ford Coppola.
Francis Ford Coppola is correct.
He's working on a movie.
I love how Kron always sneaks like a second kind of clue in with the first one.
You can,
Now
throw,
makes
you can throw an and in there.
Yeah, no, the wine was the giveaway, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
Dan.
This director is always on the sidelines of the New York Knicks games.
That would be, I believe, Mr. Spike Lee.
Spike Lee is correct.
I like how some of the best clues are ones having nothing to do
I know.
with their filmmaking.
Yeah.
Yep.
I honestly considered, like, you can't do anything clue-wise that way, and you just run into something where, like, I don't know anything about Spike Lee's personal life, you know? So,
Yeah.
all right. Kron, it's back to you and Nick.
This director has had a very up and down career, and he's modeled a lot of his work from Alfred Hitchcock.
First guess would be Brian De Palma.
That is correct.
Okay.
You guys are pretty good
Sweet.
at this.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
that is-
thanks.
These guys know movies.
Did you guys go to film school or something?
After 12 rounds, Kron and Nick, you have 7 points. Dan, Brantley, you have 5. Dan, you are up. I'm
5.
typing.
I know. See, it was the steal that killed us, and that put him up by 2.
This director. This is a tough one.
I'm going to need something.
His very first venture into film had to do with big rigs.
I don't think I have the filmography of this director correct, but I'm going to guess William Friedkin just for the time being.
That is incorrect.
Okay.
This director created the summer blockbuster.
Oh, okay. It's Steven Spielberg. Sorry.
That is correct.
I should have gotten that sooner.
That's on me.
I think what was throwing me was that Duel was a TV movie, even though I
Yeah.
know it eventually got released in theaters, and I think that's why I was thinking Sorcerer and Friedkin, even though I was pretty sure that came later. And yeah,
If we had a chance to steal, I was going to say this guy was born in Amblin Man.
that's really good.
Kron, you
Can
have
you do
your
that? Can you
clue.
name the studio or company they created?
I don't know, but that was smart. Come on.
That was,
Yeah, that was
that's
good.
really
That's
clever.
solid, man.
Yeah.
You could say his dreams are really working.
Probably considered the master of body horror, and was
David Cronenberg.
Yep,
That is correct.
But he's Canadian, I believe.
that's true.
Oh,
Damn.
Probably get a bonus point, I guess.
Yeah.
That
Nick's
is
schooling the game creator.
apologies. Shit.
Well, it was irresponsible of me to guess, actually. But
Nope,
it
we
just
got
seemed
it.
like it was.
Well, the list that I looked at was incorrect.
Is he Canadian? I actually don't know, though.
No,
Is
I'm
he?
pretty sure
He's
he
Canadian.
is.
I think you're right,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
Yeah.
which
He made like his first, I don't know, 3 or 4 movies up there, right? So
Yeah.
like Rabid was Canadian, and yeah,
Oh, Rabid, yeah, of course. Yeah, Rabid was. Well, he had
Shivers.
one before Rabid, right?
I think so,
Shivers.
but I can't remember.
Yeah,
what it is.
that's what I'm thinking. Okay.
Dan, you have the next director.
All right, Brantley. This director also directed a TV show which was just as popular as his movies.
Oh, Jesus, I feel like that could be a lot of people. I'm just going to say Martin Scorsese for the time being.
That is incorrect.
Okay.
Fuck. This director, I don't know if I could say that.
Spit it out, buddy.
This is a tough fuck. This director's version. I can't say that. Shit.
5 seconds.
This. Nah, I can't say that. I don't know. I'll see what Kron has.
Kron, it goes to you, buddy.
Hey, I'm sorry. Do I get a chance to do a second guess?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll give you 10 seconds.
Fuck. The Coen brothers.
That is incorrect.
Damn it.
All right. An extremely head trippy director. His TV show and movie share a title.
That's 2 clues. That's 2.
Said and. Compound sentence, dude.
Does it count? Can I guess? Well, I don't have a guess anyway, so hang on. TV show.
Can I steal it back?
No.
It's fuck. 'Cause now I know.
Ed Trippy director, huh? I'm drawing a blank. I'm embarrassed.
5 seconds.
TV show. Yeah, I don't know.
The answer is David Lynch.
Yeah.
Oh.
Disappointed I didn't pull that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
okay.
You're fine, Bradley. I couldn't think of anything else without giving a title away of one of his movies.
Yeah.
Kron, this is to you.
Has a new movie coming out very soon and is a very distinctively visual director.
New movie coming out very soon. Wes Anderson.
That is correct. Guys, we have 4 more rounds left. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Dan,
We're down by 3.
Dan and Brantley, you have 7.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle and Nick, I have you at 8. What? Yeah, because one was missed. So
Well, if they missed one and we stole it, we should be up by 2, right?
Yeah.
Because they would have not gotten one.
I've missed 2 now, and they stole one of them.
yeah, but
9
you
to
didn't
7?
get the one that you tried to steal. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for Dan and Brantley. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for Kyle and Nick.
Seems a little
And you're
rigged.
factoring in the stolen point as well?
Yes,
Huh. Okay, I thought they were up 2 earlier.
We were.
unless I put it in the. Yeah, because they stole.
We stole Bigelow, and they would have not gotten a point for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I think we've gotten every point that, like, every director that has come to us. So no one got Lynch, but Nick and I got every director on our side.
you know what it
plus one
was?
of
I
theirs.
did not. I went to put in the Cronenberg one, and I didn't put it because of the Canadian thing.
Oh.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Sorry. I was like, apologies for not paying attention while you were listening. I was counting the whole time. Okay.
So is it 7 to 9 or 7 to 10?
It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I didn't put a counter at the bottom of this. Sorry. It is 9-6.
Oh, 9-6. Okay, that makes more sense.
69.
Oh,
Sup?
hell yeah. Sup, dude.
Sup?
69.
Dan, are you ready?
Sup? This director made the Catholic Church very nervous.
Now I believe it is finally Martin Scorsese.
That is incorrect.
Oh, god damn it. On this next clue, Dan, sneak an and on it so you can get 2 clues in on it, all right?
Oh, I think
That's
I
just
might
smart
know.
gameplay, baby.
This director made one of the best big rig movies ever.
I feel like that could be so many big rig movies.
Think about the first clue.
Yeah, I know, and I'm trying to think of anyone else besides Scorsese with Last Temptation of Christ who made the Catholic Church so nervous. Fuck me.
10 seconds.
I'm going to go back to one I guessed before with Sorcerer and William Friedkin.
That is correct.
Yes,
oh, thank
Brantley.
fucking God. So The
Yes.
Exorcist, right? That was
Yes.
it?
Okay, nice.
Woo!
Wow.
Oh, boy. All right.
Whew.
Thank God.
Edge of your
Pushing
seat thriller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, boy. I'm glad I could come around and close that
All
loop
right.
with Billy Friedkin there.
That puts it 7-9. 3 more rounds left. Kron, this is your play.
One of the most prolific horror directors of all time. That's cool.
John Carpenter.
Cut it off there. No adding.
John Carpenter is correct.
We don't even need the
All the
and
fucking
Brantley.
All the easy ones.
You have to get this one.
Fuck.
It's random.
All right.
Dan, I'm going to need a clue.
These directors really love Cormac McCarthy.
I'm going to allow it.
I am going to go with the Coen brothers.
That is correct.
Who I'll again circle the loop on.
Could have ended at these directors. So
Well, no. I mean, I can think of a few.
There's
The
2 of them.
Wachowskis.
I had to say it.
Yeah, the Wachowski siblings. I mean, there's a few others.
The Daniels, yeah.
Yeah. You know, you got the Radio Silence and
Oh, right, Radio
it's like
Silence.
yeah, it's like a whole team or whatever. But
Okay.
all right, we need a miracle here. All right, here we go.
Kron, it's yours to lose.
this guy had a very famous radio broadcast that made people extremely nervous.
Wells? That's H.P. Wells? Orson Welles.
Was technically his first one, and he got it on a second, so we're going to count it. Orson Welles is correct.
Yes.
Stiff competition, guys.
Good game.
Good game.
That is 11-8. It's pretty damn close. Especially with the...
there was no way to win it at the end for us in that last round. Even if they missed and we stole, it would have been 11-10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna give you guys the win.
You should.
Rigged as hell, dude.
Nick threatened me.
Nick threatened you.
Yeah, Nick just texted. I don't know how Nick got my number, but sent me a picture of my mom. Guys, that was Direction Erection. Apologies. I had to mute several times there because of my dogs. So thank you for playing. I hope that was entertaining.
Thank you.
It was.
Great.
Wait.
Yeah, that was fun.
Which radio broadcast was it? Why am I...
It was War of the Worlds.
Oh, so that is H.G. Wells' story. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's where you pulled the HG.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Wells did the radio thing, right? Where he...
Orson Welles did read it. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is very confusing.
Cool.
And
So-
okay.
He pulled both of them, so we'll give you another point.
Yeah.
I hope
nice.
that's entertaining to the listener. I had thought about like maybe adding in the name, like when I drop it, like editing in, but I think it might be fun for the listener to try to guess and play along.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I look forward to people telling me that my math is wrong and I gave you more time than this person or whatever. But thanks for playing,
Doesn't
guys.
matter.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you also look forward to cutting out the long periods of silence as we think about clues and the answer and everything?
Well, no, because I want people to drive angry because they're like, it's fucking William Friedkin.
Venture, you idiots!
Yeah.
What was
Jeopardy music. Just add that in.
Yeah.
There you
what was
go.
that drunk clip of Orson Welles?
Oh, the
it's
French.
Like
Oh, that whatever liquor that he's selling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
was it
So
liquor
good.
or a wine?
It was a...
It was a champagne, I think. Like a
Oh, was it?
or something. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
God, that's a good clip.
Is he just going to come in? Does he say, like...
Are they coming up?
He doesn't do anything?
Yeah.
Action, Orson. What?
Well,
Yeah,
ladies
great.
and gentlemen, that's all we have for the rewind. I mean, we had 2 games. We had the list was shaken up tonight for sure. To be talked about for months on end here on the 5 Day Rentals podcast. The rewind number 9 officially wraps up season 1. Just want to say thank you to all the listeners out there. We want to thank our fine friends that we've met along the way, Brantley and Nick included with the horror drafts. Guys, tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, I mean we're horror drafts on Instagram, and I guess we're technically still on Twitter. It's either horror drafts or horror drafts pod on either one, and we're not really on Twitter though. But that's where you can find us, and just search horror drafts and whatever podcast platform you use, and you can listen to us draft a topic that is brought to us by our guest each episode. And sometimes it's wonderful guests like the gentleman from 5 Day Rentals. We've had episodes in which all 3 of them were on with us, and we drafted a mega 80s draft, or they would come on in their respective individual guest appearances and do things like animal attack films or horror remakes, or Bones's very form-bending episode where we took a story he had worked on, a different type of horror draft, so to speak, and we helped him work on different things to punch up the story, basically. I'm sorry, this is a very long-winded plug, but that's the kind of stuff we do, and if you are interested in that, you can check us out. Thanks for having us on, guys.
Thank you so much, and congratulations on season 1. I feel honored to be part of the season, and especially part of the final episode, the rewind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it was a pleasure having you guys.
Oh, pleasure is all ours. Yeah,
Only took us
absolutely.
2 years to get through one season, so
Yeah.
here's to many more.
Yeah.
And I imagine you guys, you'll be on season 2. Don't worry. We'll get you in there.
Oh, I hope so. Yeah, I look forward to it.
But until then, folks, next week we have a 5-star banger coming up. Bones, tell them what it is.
Oh, man. We're going to L.A. post-war. L.A. Confidential, baby. I was going to say something else, and it was much dirtier. So, a movie I absolutely love, I think is fucking flawless. I can't wait to talk about it. I just rewatched it again before prepping the notes. I would say anticipate a different sort of breakdown with LA Confidential. It's a little too dense for the standard 5-day rentals method. And also there's a lot of problematic stuff in there that we probably need to skip over and be brought about. So
Kevin Spacey would do something problematic?
We got a lot to talk about.
Say it isn't so.
yeah. It's such a fucking bummer how awesome he is in the movie. That's all I thought about every time he was on screen. But yeah, hopefully you haven't, or I would hope everybody's already seen Curtis Hansen's amazing adaptation. But yeah, come back. And then after that, dudes, before we take a little month-long break, we got an episode of Thunder in Paradise.
Yes.
Check your feeds. Also, I think in the middle of that break, we will be dropping an appearance of ours on Best Little Whorehouse in Philly. George has been kind enough to let us take something from behind the paywall, and we'll be releasing the episode where we acted as the judges in a legal thriller. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, so at us.
Yeah.
When you're
Follow
mad
the
with
show.
our rulings.
Rate and review as usual. I will be dropping what the new category is and the film that is going to be covered on the premiere of season 2 sometime in July. So my co-hosts are just finding out about this right now. So they will be surprised as well whenever I do upload that to the feed. So thank you. Thank you for all the support. We love each and every one of you. Especially if you have, well, we won't say that. Crash and burn?
Crash and burn.
Hey, crash and burn a little higher than it used to be.
Crash and burn.
Thanks, guys.
Come from way back.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the 5-Day Rentals podcast. We just wrapped up the final review of Season 1, and we thought this might be a good time to maybe talk about some recent discoveries, maybe some recommendations outside of 5-Day Rental stuff. We kind of know the lane that we stick to, but we do actually like movies, so this might be a good shot to kind of talk about some stuff we've seen that might not necessarily fall into the 5-Day Rentals canon. So, I don't know. Dan, lead us off.
Why am I signed out of my account? What the fuck?
All right. Bones, lead us off.
Move on.
No, I want Dan to go first. This was his idea initially. So.
I know. Hold on. Let me log back into Letterboxd here.
All right, guys, I'll lead us off. Some recent movies that I've seen that I liked very, very much. Just yesterday, actually, I watched Eastern Promises from Cronenberg. Had never seen it before. Thought it was excellent. Just kind of a cool crime thing. I do think the end, like, very, very slightly falls apart for me, just the way some of the characters go, but I don't know. It's a fun ride start to finish. I'm glad I finally got to see this one. It was definitely like a missing section of the Cronenberg canon for me. So very glad I caught up with that one. And then I will also say I covered this on my episode of Horror Drafts, which was all animal attack related. but I watched a movie called A Long Weekend that I just thought was excellent. Like, have continued to think about it since I watched it. Would recommend anybody see it. It's a really cool horror movie. It gets very kind of trippy and weird by the end of it. And the last thing I'll add is the Suspense is Killing Us podcast on their Patreon just covered Ed Wood, and they had such good things to say about it. I have seen this movie before, but I have only watched it once, maybe when I was like freshman year of high school. So very much looking forward to seeing Ed Wood again. That's what I got.
Easily my favorite Tim Burton.
Same. Yep. And Eastern Promise is absolutely
So good, yeah.
Yes,
I
fucking
agree.
really
Great
good.
movie.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in ages. I think I got to rewatch it because I've loved that movie.
I think I last saw it our senior year of college, actually. Yeah, we saw it.
I mean, I think it came out in 08.
Yeah,
so
and that's
think
when I last saw it. That
yeah.
makes sense, yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
I feel like it has kind of been not really available on streaming, but it is on Max right now if you have that.
Oh,
So
nice.
Oh, cool, yeah.
That's great. Yeah, that 1-2 punch of History of Violence
Yep.
and Eastern Promises with the Cronenberg Mortensen team up there is great.
So good, yeah.
I think both of them are really good, but Eastern Promises is my favorite of those two.
I need to revisit History of Violence because it did not hit for me
Not
on
a
the first
fan of
watch.
History of
Whereas
Violence either.
Eastern Promises I thought was awesome.
Yeah, it was the same way.
All right.
Yeah.
I feel like History of Violence, the first 45 minutes are awesome, and the last 45 minutes are nowhere near as good. So
Gotcha. That one I'm probably due for a rewatch too. So
Yeah, it's
I
been a
remember enjoying
long
it quite
time.
a bit when it came out in 06. Yeah.
The scene with at the end though is incredible. With
Yeah, with William.
yeah,
Hurt.
thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
he's amazing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
all right,
Nick,
me,
tell us what you got.
so I don't have anything that I like recently discovered, but maybe rediscovered. I guess there's an old fan theory that it was new to me that I was reading about and watched some videos on about the Matrix movies and about how Agent Smith is actually the one. If you break it down, so it's an interesting theory. I don't think it applies if you look at just the first one, but if you look at it as, you know, a trilogy, basically, really interesting. And it sparked me and my wife to rewatch all 4 Matrix movies. And I gotta say, unpopular opinion, I mean, obviously the first one's a masterpiece. I really like them all. Say what you will about the sequels. I think they're going to be reevaluated someday. The Matrix reevaluated. There you go. I really do. I think 2, 3, and 4 are going to have their day in the sun eventually. But yeah, maybe it's nostalgia, but I really like them.
I was gonna say, is this like The Shining with you, or are you just gonna go with it?
Yeah, with the theory, with yeah,
All right.
I might.
Had you seen 4 before? Like when
Yeah,
it initially
yeah.
came out? Okay.
Yeah, back when it first came out. And I liked it then too. I know I was in the minority, but I mean, it was obviously very, very different. But I really liked what it did.
All right.
Sweet.
I still haven't seen it. I need to watch it.
4 was a rough one for me. Like, I kind of I like some of the ideas that are in it, but I don't know. To me it's a real mixed bag. But
I remember liking like the first 20 minutes, like, all right, okay, and then it kind of darts off, and I'm like,
I can totally see why it's off-putting for like so many people. But I don't know. I liked it a lot. It's just such a departure.
Yeah.
It feels like a completely different series. I don't know.
It needs you to be in on the joke somehow. So like when it hits, you're kind of, wait, am I dumb? And I wasn't sure, like, is it going to come back around, or is this just now the trajectory for me? And I couldn't stop thinking about that even through the action sequences. So
Yeah.
I agree with you. Like, I wasn't a huge fan of 2 and 3 when they initially came out, but upon further watches, I was like, oh, this is actually really cool. This is actually really cool. I can forgive the CG on this. This is badass. So I think Ford at least deserves that attention.
And I don't know if I lived in a vacuum now and watched them for the first time, I might feel, but part of it is like, if you lived through, especially the year 2003 when 2 and 3 came out, like just the ambition behind that plus the game and what they were doing, it's hard to revisit those movies and not just like appreciate like what went into build. Like those are the last movies I can really truly call like epic on that scale. I know Avatar and movies like that are, but like the ambition behind 2, 3 and the game all being made simultaneously, and like the lore and the philosophy and all that stuff is like kind of mind blowing to this day to me.
Hell yeah. So
Fucking rewatch.
Speaking of number 4s, I'll go.
All right.
I revisited Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull this week. A movie that I was not fond of upon the first watch. James Bonding, they are doing Indiana Jonesing currently, and they're getting ready to cover the 4th Indy. And Paul Russ mentioned something about, with the most recent 4K adaptation of it, they took a lot of the gloss off. And I will tell you, it makes a world of difference. It is much less jarring to watch the new transfer of it. Still my least favorite of them, but I appreciated it a hell of a lot more on this rewatch. So, and that actually forced me to go through and bump all of the other Indiana Jones up, because it was a equal parts, hey, I appreciate this a little bit more, but against the other ones, I have to raise them up even higher. And then me being the action Philistine of the podcast, I had a hell of a lot of fun watching Extraction on Netflix with Chris Hemsworth. So there is a sequel coming out, and it was just late one night. I was like, fuck it, let me throw this thing on, and it has got some Bushwick level fake oneers that perked me up a little bit. I was like, I gotta fucking check out how they did this, because that is definitely a guy hanging on a wire to achieve these shots. So pretty generic sort of troubled guy sort of story, but I thought the action made up for it. So seek that out if you haven't seen it before. Extraction 2.
I just had a friend who saw a screening of Extraction 2, the new one, and loved it. Said it was incredible. Like, he was a fan of the first, so I guess, yeah, I haven't seen either, but now I should.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
So I'm guessing the extraction in part 1 was a failure. They did not get that person out.
Maybe it's just another extraction, Kron.
It wasn't
That could
easy.
be.
It's
That
not
could be.
easy, Kron. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
It was tough.
You sound like you're not going to watch it. You just took his word for it.
I'll have some sleepless night, and maybe I'll throw it on.
No,
All right.
it is not a Kron movie.
Dan, you want me to go next so you can
Brantley Palmer,
wrap it all up?
please indulge us.
Okay. Well, I revisited a Stone Cold classic, what would be considered a 5-star banger, I imagine, in the parlance of 5-Day Rentals. Also tied into Paul Rust, I watched 2009's Inglourious Bastards
Fuck
again.
yeah.
That is a 5-star banger.
Yeah.
It is a 5-star banger. I mean, I think it might be my favorite Tarantino. It's the one I want to rewatch more than any of the others.
I agree with you.
And yeah, I don't know. Does that make it the best? I don't know. I mean, how much do you factor in rewatchability? But it's so captivating from beginning to end for me, and I'm just so in it every time I watch it. It's probably the last film I remember like finishing watching in the theater and my immediate response being like, I just want to watch this again. You know, when that came out in 2009, that was my response, and I hadn't had that feeling since I was like a kid. You know, like a kid who saw Jurassic Park in the theater and was just like, I want to watch that again, kind of thing. So I just, I loved it. I got the 4K of it recently. It was fairly cheap at Bull Moose, so I picked it up and, finally got a chance to watch it. And as awesome as ever. So anyway, if anyone hasn't seen Inglourious Basterds, it's a movie that probably doesn't need the plug, but if you haven't seen it, go check out Inglourious Basterds. An absolute delight, and just a fucking 5-star banger. So there's one.
Sounds like
And then
Ron
I had-
Howard has a guest lined up for that one.
Yeah, Aldo Ray. We got him.
But now I will shout out a film that probably does and could use the plug. I watched there's a movie that came to VOD recently. It's called The Outpost. It's directed by comedian Jolo Truglio, another comedian making a directorial debut in the horror genre. And it stars comedian Beth Dover. It's very much a character study. She plays a woman escaping a physically abusive relationship who becomes a fire watchtower forest ranger volunteer. I don't know exactly the exact terminology.
Smoke
there.
eater.
Yeah, she basically lives in this tower by herself, keeping an eye on, like, you know, as much of the surrounding 360 view that she has to spot fires and call them in. And it's very much a film about her grappling with the trauma that she has and how that's still affecting her while she's in that very isolated place. I don't want to say anything else and give anything away. I think the story could have gone into very conventional places, and I think it does a very good job of sort of avoiding some of the pitfalls of paint by numbers storytelling that could have easily kind of played out. And it had me sort of interested in guessing as to, like, what was going to happen next throughout. And I think in that sense, I would recommend it to people. And Beth Dover gives a great performance. She's really great in it. And there's a couple, character actors you'd recognize that pop up in it that are welcome additions in the film. So there you go. The Outpost is what it's called.
Nice.
Just real quick to go back to Bastards. I feel like, to me, that's like the movie where Tarantino's, like, everything he wanted to do, like, fully clicks into place. And I love how elongated all the set pieces get, and they do not get boring ever. Like, it's really like the milk farm scene, the basement bar, and then the ending kind of like theater. It's really like those, like, getting you to those three things, and like the how much time it spends in those scenes is not boring,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are the very time consuming set pieces, but yeah, you're right, they're never boring. You're always kind of on the edge of your seat, in honesty, for, like, many of them, because the tension's there. And yeah, if I had to nitpick one thing with Inglourious Basterds, I love Sam Jackson, but the voiceover from Sam Jackson, just because it only comes in at, like, a couple spots, can sometimes feel a bit jarring and kind of unnecessary. So, like, that's, like, the one area of the film that I'd say you probably could do without it. But it's not anything that, like, takes me out enough that it bothers me, really. I just think it's just unnecessary, basically.
I always feel like with that movie, the one thing that takes me out is Eli Roth's acting. But
well, yeah. I mean, rewatching it this time, I was kind of like, oh boy, okay, here he comes. But it wasn't, like, especially when he comes out of the tunnel and he beats the guy to death. That's when the scene I always think of as him kind of being a little too over the top. But rewatching it this time, I was like, it's wasn't as bad as I remember. And I mean, there's the one part where he gets, like, really amped up, but I thought for some reason he had been amped up before that, before the bat hits the guy, but that wasn't the case. It was more just like, taking in the what the medals meant for the guy and everything. So yeah.
It's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Great picks, though. I'd love to check out the second one as well. So
Yeah, that sounds good.
Where is the out?
called The
Is the Outpost available anywhere?
As far as I know, you would just have to rent it on, like Apple, Amazon, wherever you do like VOD type of rentals and stuff. I think it was like $5.99. And I'd been following when they were making it and it coming out or whatever, promoting it, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'll check this out. I'll check out this smaller indie horror film, even though it's got some names attached and everything. So I'll give them a little love.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, that leaves me. I did catch a advanced screening of Asteroid City, and I will tell you right now, nothing about it. You can go watch it yourselves when it comes out. I did catch a film called Corpus Christi from 2019. It is a Polish film, kind of about a juvenile who gets out. He's supposed to go to a work camp and ends up just taking over the local parish as a priest. A very young man. Available on Tubi. It's got an ending, I'll tell you that much. What a shot. I have also been doing Fauci as well. I've watched The Beyond and The New York Ripper. Fauci? What did I say? Fauci?
Yeah, said Fauci.
Get your vaccines, y'all. But that's some crazy shit. I haven't watched. I thought I watched more of his movies, but apparently I have not. But so I'm making my way through those, and those are fucking wild. So check those out. I'm trying to make the most of my Shudder $5 every month. So I also checked out Influencer. Not bad. Pretty nice little mystery there. Not too crazy horror. And to top it off, though, gentlemen, I think the best thing I watched so far this month is a little film from 1951 called The Steel Helmet. And
hell yeah.
What a there's no hero, war is hell type of movie about the Korean War. It's really good. It's pretty short. To wrap it up, it's nice. I liked it.
Fuck yeah.
I know Brantley has a very high rating there on that movie. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how did you come across it? Because it's in my top 4 on Letterboxd, but I don't know if you've heard me talk about it before or anything, or you just stumbled upon it.
Yeah, it's always been on my list to watch, and actually Penny Smasher had a copy, so I ripped it from him. But it did appear for what was it Memorial Day? They did show it on TCM, so I did record it off of there as well. So I got a copy though.
That's
Kron,
awesome.
if you want.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah.
Or Nick.
That's I believe the first film ever made about the Korean War in the world. It came out just 6 months after the U.S. involvement in the Korean War there. And if you're a fan of Martin Scorsese, he bases an entire fight sequence in Raging Bull off of a single shot in The Steel Helmet. It's towards the end of the film there when Sergeant Zach disappears into the fog of war, basically. He's essentially having PTSD on the battlefield as he goes back in his head to World War II. Yeah.
It's a good flick.
All right.
Yeah. Sorry, I could wax poetic about The Steel Helmet all fucking night, and but I'll stop there.
Yeah, that's all I got.
I just want...
Beautiful.
This guy knows I fucking love Wes Anderson, and he won't tell me anything about Asteroid City. I mean, I appreciate it, but...
I haven't even rated it.
It's fucking killing me.
Did you like it? Just a yes.
I don't want to know.
I'm
no.
You don't want to.
No,
that's
no.
easy. That's not spoiler.
Yeah, but
anything.
that'll inform stuff.
Okay, fine.
God damn it.
I'm not telling you anything.
I gotta wait another week.
I've seen it. I'll tell you that much.
Cool.
It's a Wes Anderson movie.
We already said goodbyes, so let's just go.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Crash and burn.